welcome to another Housing Debrief episode for season 2. So much fun. Have lots of kids today, as you can see. We have here Athena, and we have here, what's your name? Ziki. You tell them who you are. I know who you are. Mason. And who else do we have? Oh yeah, come on, further up. There we go. It's Alana Joe. Right? Say hello. Say hello to the masses, Alana.
Hello, goodbye.
Yeah, as you can see, she's in intermediate school. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Give every 5 seconds to get on, but we're going to get started. You can always go back and watch the content that you missed. And but welcome to another Housing Debrief Friday episode number 4.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. So hello, everybody. Hello, Steve-O Rude. It's pretty fantastic. Let's go ahead and begin. And we have another topic here. And I'm going to go ahead and make myself small and make the presentation big so that you can see it. Pretty cool, sophisticated software that's extremely easy to use. And if you ever want to know more about it, you can contact me, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you a little bit about it. Restream is what it's called. So that's what we're utilizing. We're utilizing Restream. It enables me to toggle in between the presentation and myself. And so, but let's go ahead and get into this presentation, and let's see. So here we go. First of all, of course, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Kevin Buddy, my buddy, your buddy, Kevin Buddy. And he deals with more than one kind of borrower. So of course, there's more than one kind of loan. Everything from full documentation loans to alternative documentation loans, investor financing, and private money loans. So pretty much the full gamut. And he has loads and loads of experience. Kevin Buddy has been doing this since 1976, helping buyers and realtors, and he's just a wealth of information. I'm glad that he has been a friend of mine for years. He's a fantastic wealth of knowledge. So contact him, contact Kevin Buddy, and let him help you as well. Kevin Buddy can be reached at 949-422-2075. That's 949-422-2075. Thanks again, Kevin, for your sponsorship. And of course, there's Reports on Housing. That is what I do for a living. It's Reports on Housing. That's our company. It's our local real estate snapshot. We're not really that much involved in the closed sales data because that tells us about where we've been in the past. Also tells us, yes, median prices are going up. But if you're trying to navigate as a buyer or a seller in this marketplace, you really don't want to look in the past. You want to look right now out the windshield at the current number of homes for sale. That's the supply, and then the demand. That's a snapshot of the last 30 days of escrow activity. And from supply and demand, we're able to get the expected market time. That's if you place your home on the market today, when are you opening up escrow down the road? You care about that as a seller. You also care about that as a buyer. Different price ranges have different feels, and different cities have different feels as well, and also from county to county. It's about setting expectations. That's what it's about, and it's giving everybody the power. There's power to data, and the data really does. You can't refute it. You really can't, and it's like common sense stuff when you really drill down into all the data points that we have, and in this sophisticated day of age, we have plenty of data points. So we have reports that dot all over Southern California, and the last one that came out was called No Top in Sight. San Bernardino, Riverside got theirs this week. Orange County, LA, and San Diego got theirs last week, and there's a new report coming out on Monday, and that report is going to be about when are homes coming back on the market. So stay tuned for that. That's coming this Monday along the coast, the following week in the Inland Empire. So go to reportsonhousing.com and just click on subscribe. Comes out every 2 weeks. Like I said, there's a ton of of links at the bottom, and it's $15 per month, $150 per year. You get a month free if you sign up utilizing the coupon code NOBUBBLE. Kind of flash forwarding to the answer to the question as to, is housing a bubble? So I kind of gave that away, huh? No bubble. Well, let me get into the nitty gritty of it, because I understand home values have been screaming upward. They've been going up since 2012. I actually had somebody go, so when was the last time that we were a buyer's market? And what they were trying to tell me was basically that there's cycles. Well, there are cycles, but it's not a given period of time. It's not 8 years, 10 years. It's not any given period of time where we actually see housing continue to go up and then come down. That's not what you look at. We are not looking at cycles and say, yep, it's due right now. That's not how it happens. Instead, we've got to drill down into the nitty-gritty details of what's going on out there. So yes, home values have been on the rise since 2012. And in 2019, not a lot happened in home values because of interest rates that drove all the way up towards 5% at the end of 2018. And there have been other times where things have slowed down during that run from 2012 to through 2020. But I want to talk about the California median sales price. And I understand what everybody likes to compare it to is they see this on the left-hand side. They see this gigantic arrow, and that is home value appreciation across California. And I thought this was the best way of illustrating it, because it did this everywhere in the country. This is California. And then afterwards, of course, it dove down. And that's what everybody is looking at, this giant crash that happened in 2007, 2008, 2009. And then we were down to really low levels. So, of course, that's what everybody's trying to compare to, because we've been going up for such a long time that, shoot, we surpassed the last height. So we've got to be fueling another bubble in housing. And that, so what everybody's remembering back to is that Great Recession and where we went up and then came down. But you need to factor in a couple of different things. You just can't look at values that are going up. So yes, values have gone up. So mortgage interest rates have actually gone down in that same time period. This is from prior to around 2000 to that last recession, the Great Recession. That's that big bar right before 2009. And then, of course, interest rates continued to go down from that point. So you have to understand, so you don't just take into consideration what are values at, where are interest rates at? And then another thing that a lot of people ignore is income. What have happened to incomes over time? If you think incomes are the exact same as what they were prior to the Great Recession, I'm here to burst your bubble and tell you that that is just not the case. This kind of just shows you what has happened in income levels over time through 2019. And if you look to the left, you can see where 2000 was all the way up to right before the Great Recession in 2007. That's right there in the middle. And look on the right-hand side, it's continuing to go up. And 2019 was a spectacular year for household income. In 2020, it didn't, we don't have the final figures yet, but it's pretty much a wash. Not a lot had happened as far as incomes, but it was not one that went down, is probably what it's going to come out to. So the bottom line is, we got to look at your wallet. How much of your monthly income is devoted to paying your mortgage? And that's really affordability, where affordability is at. And I've gone over in time, I've gone all the way back to 1980 before, but I'm not going to bore you with all the statistics. Instead, I'm going to go backwards to 2000. I'm going to talk about where mortgage rate is, what's the median home price, what's the mortgage amount with 20% down, and the payment, and the median income, and the percent of income. So you could see we had 8% interest rates in 2000, with a median home price of $241,000, and that payment looked like $1,415 per month. And keep in mind, this is for all of California, but this plays out when I do it for Orange County, Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, San Diego, all that. It's all the same. It's all works out the same in very, very similar numbers. But you can see 36% of income was devoted to the mortgage payment in the year 2000. In 2004, so I'm doing a little midpoint, we were at 5.85% interest rate. So interest rates had come down and the median home price had really gone up to $451,000 for the year. And the mortgage amount was $360,800. The monthly payment was $2,129 per month. And you can see here, the median income was $49,222. Do you see a problem? Yes. The payment as a percentage of income was 52%. And then in 2007, it got to 60%. And remember, this is across California. This is based upon that median income is median household income. But and this is across California. So it's not as severe in some counties, and it is pretty severe in others in Southern California. But you get the gist of it. If half of your income is going towards your payment, that's a real problem. And that's what was happening in 2004. I actually thought the market should have turned in the summer of 2004 when I started the housing report, and it was going to. But something else happened after that. We'll get into that. But in 2012, you can see values went all the way down to $319,000. And this is what I keep on getting over and over again is, when is this going to happen again? I want to get in when that happens. It's not anytime soon. And I'll get into that because look at that. The percentage of income, because incomes continue to go up, and the payment as a percentage of income was only 25%. So how affordable was it in 2012? As a matter of fact, there was a lot of homes that if you bought them in 2012 and you flipped them over and actually rented them out, they were cash flow positive. So now we're looking at 2015, and we're at 3.85% interest rates. They actually went up a little bit from 2012. There was some manipulation that happened in 2012 with the Federal Reserve in something that I'll allude to later. But 3.85%, you have a median home price income, median home price at $476. So a payment of $1,785. And look at that median income. It's still roaring upwards. So you're at 34%. The payment as a percentage of income was actually less in 2015 than it was in the year 2000. And then we have 2021, where we're starting off today. We have a median home price across California of $700,000. And the mortgage rate is at 3%, right around there. The mortgage amount, $560,000. Your payment is $2,361 per month, and the median income is $79,000. You can see that the payment as a percentage of income is 36%. And this holds true in California and in Southern California as I dissect the different markets. But I wanted to bring this to you so you understood how we're just not in those territories where it was at 50% of the income. That's where we hit in 2004 and 07. It was even worse. And that's because we had a lot higher interest rates, double where we are today, A, and B, look at where the median household income is at, $79,000 versus right beforehand, $55,734. You can see median incomes have come up quite a bit. So you have to understand, housing is extremely strong. I've talked about that in various housing debrief episodes, but I wanted to tell you, I used this before. It's like the three little pigs. And I'm going to bring it down to this analogy. The three little pigs go like this. Of course, you know that there's one that was made of hay and was blown down, and one made of sticks blown down, and then there's one that's made of brick. But the Great Recession, right prior, that housing market was made some really weak hay, and it was wet too, so it was super easy to blow down. And the savings and loan scandal of 1991 was the one made out of sticks. But we're talking about right prior to the Great Recession. Those that from 2000 to about 2007, we did fuel an asset bubble, and really it was a housing built of hay, and that was prior to the Great Recession. There were subprime loans, and there were pick-a-payment loans, pick-a-payment plans. Remember, countrywide, you could actually pick the lowest payment that they gave you on a monthly basis, and you're watching your mortgage amount that you owed grow every single month because you weren't even paying enough. You could pay principal and interest, just the principal, or less than principal and interest, which meant that your loan balance was actually going up, which was a recipe for once everything flipped, all these people were negative. That's the pick a payment loan. So subprime pick a payment loan. We had 0 down loans, no doc, no look loans, that type of thing. We had cash out refinances like crazy. I've heard the cash out refinances are up. I actually have stats and all that stuff. It pales in comparison to prior to the Great Recession, and interest rates are so much lower today than they were before. So financing all those cash out refinances back in the past was just not a good thing. And then we had a disproportionate number of ARMs in the system. A lot of people were doing ARMs. Those are their adjusted rate mortgages. Today, by and large, most everybody is just doing fixed rate mortgages because they're so low. It does not make any sense to do it adjustables. So adjustables just are not a big piece of the pie there. And then we had plenty of fraudulent lending. We had a lot of stuff going on where I know that dogs got loans. I know that dead people got loans. So that was a time where there was a lot of just not a lot of oversight. But since then, there's been plenty of oversight. So you can understand that nowadays we have this incredible, strong housing stock, and the way that everybody had to qualify for loans and how much equity they have and the down payments and everything else just created an extremely strong housing stock. And that's what we have today. So I just want everybody to know that that's what we have today. That's why we're not going to get a big housing. We're not fueling that housing bubble. It is at less than 40% of the median median income is devoted to payments today, and that's across California. So that's actually still really strong compared to where we've been in the past. So no bubble. Sorry to disappoint you. So, or not you specifically, but general, a lot of people are hoping that this market will turn, and it's not going to be turning anytime soon. There's plenty of room for it to continue to go up. As we see interest rates rise later this year, the only thing that's going to do is it's going to diminish demand a bit. And that is, I talked about it last week, kind of what I'm rooting for, because we're talking about housing in general. It is definitely driven by housing, by interest rates. These low interest rates are fueling both the supply and buyer side of the thing. So, man, it just, I can't wait for interest rates to rise a little bit so we have a little bit more of a normal market. A normal market is not when you place your home on the market, you have 3 days solid of completely booked showings and you receive 25 offers. I'm here to tell you that is not a normal market. And as this year progresses, people are going to stretch above the asking price, and hopefully we get those higher interest rates so that we can at least bring that speed down a little bit from where we're going today. So the housing supply, this is as of today, we're at 15,865. We actually went down 2%, or 406 homes in the last 2-week period. So we were coming down the inventory. I do have good news. Over the last week, I actually watched, and the inventory has actually stabilized. We've been going down consistently since January 1st, and that's because we have to get to spring when more homes come on the market, because people say they're waiting till spring. Well, that of course doesn't happen till March. Guess what? We're in March. So at the end of this month, it'll come on at a more rapid pace, more and more homes, and that's what I'm seeing right now. So that, where it's been coming down since the start of the year, it's starting to hit a little bit of a bottom, that the inventory, which means we're going to start to rise from here. So good news for everybody. And last year we were at 28,555. That is 79% more than where we are today. And if you see, we haven't had an inventory this low at all. It's the lowest since tracking. But there's nothing to buy. This is the news that everybody is telling me, that's what everybody's saying out there. And I'm here to tell you, and I even saw it on Zillow did an analysis, and they said a whole bunch of people are not placing their homes on the market because of COVID. Disproportionate number compared to all the demand that's out there. That is not what is keeping, that is not the storyline that the statistics actually show, because I actually can show you that there were more homes coming on the market across California and the United States in December, and then January and February we had fewer homes come on the market. And really what the problem is the storyline has changed, and everybody's hyper aware that there's nothing on the market right now. So as a result, it's not COVID that's keeping it. It is the fact the keeping homes from coming on the market, but there's nothing to buy. And if you look at this, the 5-year average of homes coming on the market. Now, I told you December was positive. January, I told you before. I massage these numbers because the numbers change as we go forward, because a lot of people actually sell pocket listings and then they place them into the data stream that we utilize, and it continues to accumulate. So right now, January is pretty much done. It's down 14%, missing 3,000 homes across Southern California. And then in February, it's actually down 12%, missing 2,500 homes across Southern California. But it's not in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is actually flat for the year. Orange County is slightly off for January and February. It's San Diego, San Bernardino, and Riverside. They're not placing enough homes on the market. And San Diego is doing it at such a clip that they have the same demand readings that they had last year. So it's definitely preventing more and more demand because of the lack of inventory that's out there. So hopefully that changes as this year progresses, which I actually, knock on wood, that is exactly what I think is going to happen as interest rates continue to go up from where they are today. So I'm a little bit of a sigh of relief. I told you the fact that the last week there have been more homes that have been coming on the market. So we saw the inventory start to rise for the first time. It's not by much. It's like 30 homes for all of Southern California. But let me tell you, when it's been going down, 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 when you get to the point where it's actually positive, that's a good indicator that that's the new trend that is here. Yes, Brenda, San Diego is crazy. So housing demand, Southern California housing demand year over year. Oh man, this is the last 30 days worth of pending sales, the new escrow activity. And this is where we're at. Today we're at 19,060. It's only up 2%. And the reason it's not going up faster, I already told you, there's not enough homes coming on the market because most of those homes would actually have gone into escrow. So you can see, this is kind of flatlined here, but it only flatlines for these two. And then it starts to go up a little bit more as we get more inventory that comes on. So that's just something that we will have to watch as this inventory comes on, which is why you're going to want to see the report that comes out this coming up Monday about when more homes come on the market. So there's an extra 454 pending sales in the last 2-week period. This is what that up 2%. Last year we were at 16,785. It's down, it's 12% less, missing 2,275 pending sales last year. So you can see we actually have fewer homes on the market, but even demand is still higher, and that's because interest rates are so low that people are willing to buy just about anything at this point. But the difference between last year and this year is diminishing. But you can see what happens from here. We were actually going into the lockdown city in the next couple of weeks, and that's why you actually saw a change in this demand reading. Last year, it went down at this time. So you see that it's actually going down, and then it went way down. So this year, you can expect we're not going down in the next 2 weeks. We're actually going to start to increase from here. So watch the demand reading. It will go up. The expected market time, that is how fast you're going in the market. You place your home on the market. When are you opening up escrow? Well, basically, this is where the line's at right now. Today, it's at 25 days. It went down 1 day in the last 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, the market felt like a 26-day expected market time. Today, it's at 25 days. And let me tell you, 25 days is a dumb number. I don't understand how we got here. It means that our demand reading is higher than where our active listing inventory reading is. It's where it's inverted. I have not seen it before today or before this year. This year it actually inverted, and we have fewer homes on the market than we have number of homes in escrow in the last 30 days. That's just some strange inversion that I haven't seen in a long time. Last year, we were at a 51-day expected market time, much different than where we are today. So in the expected market time, this is the lowest level since I've been tracking it. You have to understand, you see that when I draw a line across, there's just, man, it's such a low level. The lower this number, that means if you place your home on the market, when are we going to open up escrow? When you get down to less than 30 days, that's almost instantaneous because you still have to negotiate the offers and all that jazz. So, and I do have good news. I don't know if you've been watching interest rates. The interest rates have been rising. And if people go, that's good news. Yes, it's actually good news because we are going up too fast of a clip based upon where interest rates are. Even today at 3%, still too low. I'm looking forward to the days where we get back to 3.5%, 3.75%, because that is a much more manageable market, because we already have plenty of demand out there. We have a lot of millennials that are coming on board, more so that demographic than ever before. So we need to cool things down a little bit. The only way to do that is with higher interest rates. It's not going to be anything else. And when I say cool down things, I'm talking about going from 120 miles per hour or 130 where we're at today to 79. I like 79 miles per hour on the freeway. Put cruise control. You're not going to get pulled over by the CHP because you're not this guy that's speeding. 79 is good, and you'll still get to where you need to be. So that's what it's all about. I like to cruise at that speed. That's really good. 130 miles per hour is just too fast. Somebody's gonna get hurt. So I'm saying, phew. Because once again, we have interest rates that are rising, and you can see this is it on the right-hand side, 3.02%, and that's the mortgage market survey through Freddie Mac that's been done for 50 years. We got to a record low at the beginning of the year, and that was at 2.65%. So we've gone all the way from 2.65% to 3%, just over 3%. I'm glad to see that 3 on this screen. I'm telling you, it is what we all should secretly be rooting for. And but understand this, I hear of a lot of things. Federal Reserve, everybody is anticipating they want the Federal Reserve to step in because the 10-year treasuries have been going up too fast for Wall Street's liking, because they want a recovery, and if they have interest rates go up too fast, that it will mute the recovery. I'm not as worried as Wall Street and all the investors are about our economy, because we are all getting inoculated. And if you remember back to the Roaring 20s, that came after the 1918 Spanish flu. Once that was done, we went into the Roaring 20s. And I think that's kind of what we're in 2020. So once again, it's time to repeat the Roaring 20s. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot of economic activity on the other side of this vaccine. So what they're worried about is inflation and stuff like that. That's why the 10-year has gone up. But we could get the Federal Reserve manipulating the system and doing something where they twist things around. There's something called a something twist. I can't quite remember at the top of my head. But you have to understand, if they do these things, it's only going to prolong how long we are going to be going up in value at a very, very fast clip, and which is just not good for housing in the long term to go up at a giant rate at this point in the game, since we've been going up since 2012. And that doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're going to become a buyer's market and there's going to be a flood of foreclosures or anything like that, because everybody's had to fully qualify. What it means is that we're going to be more rate sensitive. As interest rates go up, we are more rate sensitive. Because remember, we had interest rates at 8% in the year 2000. Can you imagine having interest rates in the year at 8% right now? Holy heck no. Anyways, reportsonhousing.com, that's our website. Go there and subscribe. You get a month free if you sign up utilizing, it's $15 per month or $150 per year, utilizing the coupon code NOBUBBLE. So No Bubble is the coupon code to get the housing report. And this one coming up Monday, just a little teaser, it's going to be about when more homes are coming on the market, which is what everybody can't wait to find out about. So I'll be going into detail there. And hey, Kevin Buddy, my buddy and your buddy at Monarch Coast Financial, thank you so much for your sponsorship. He deals with everything from full documentation loans to private money loans and everything in between, and loads of experience. He's been around since 1976. And he's such a great guy. Tap into his services. Have him help you as well at Monarch Coast Financial. Kevin Buddy, 949-422-2075. Thanks again. I appreciate it, Kevin. And that's all I have. So I don't know if you have any crazy questions or anything like that. You can definitely ask them. I'd be more than happy to answer them in the stream. And I just want you to have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next week. Housing Debrief, episode 5 already, next Friday at 3 p.m. So thanks so much. Have a fantastic weekend.